Honorable members, I've examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 11th February 2025. Honorable colleagues, we have some couple of announcements, and I will begin with the recognition of students of Abuja Capital International College who are here to observe our proceedings. Please, can you rise up for recognition? Honorable colleagues, can we please appreciate their presence? Please sit down. We also have Students' Representative Assembly, Students' Union of Federal University of Technology, MENA, who are here with us. You are welcome. Honorable colleagues, can we appreciate their presence? You may sit down, please. On a sad note, honorable colleagues, we received from one of our colleagues, Honorable Hart Cyril Godwin, the transition to glory and burial announcement of his sister, Wari Opu Orubo Ebitomi Dapa Bire Wilkos. His message reads as follows: "It is with deep sorrow that I inform this House of the passing of Wari Opu Orubo Ebitomi Dapa Bire JP, who departed this life suddenly on December 12, 2024, at the age of 63. Until her death, she served as the overseer of our father's estate, the late Chief Harold J.R. Dapa Bire, after returning from the United Kingdom. She leaves behind 3 young children who are still in school. The service of songs will be held on Tuesday, 25th February 2025 at Christ Church, Port Harcourt at 5 p.m., while the laying in state and interment shall be on the 1st of March 2025 at St. James Anglican Church, Peterside, Boni at 10 a.m. The family of late Chief Harold Dapa Bire and I would be pleased if you could offer prayers and observe a minute of silence in her honor, as she was a guiding light for both the Dapa Bire family and the Dapa Wilkos house. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, Honorable Hart Cyril Godwin. Honorable colleagues, shall we rise for a minute silence in honor of this wonderful sister of ours? May her soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, on a very happy note, we received a letter of notification from one of our very own, Honorable Salisu Garba Koko, who wants me to make a very, very emphatic announcement of a very far-reaching decision he took of his political life. I will not want to preempt. Let me go straight and read his letter so that members will appreciate what he has for us today. He said, notification of defection. Honorable Salisu Garba Koko, member representing Kokbese Mayama Federal Constituency of Kebbi State. He said, following the prolonged and the protracted PDP crisis at the national level, and upon wider consultations with my supporters, I have decided to defect to APC a party that I shared its ideological principles and values. While thanking you for your usual cooperation, please accept the assurances of my best regards. Thanks. Yours faithfully, signed, Honorable Salisu Garba Koko, German Koko.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Point of order, sir.
I will recognize your point of order later.
Just on the issue, sir.
No, I will recognize. Just sit down. Let your blood pressure at least calm down a little. You will have all the time, leader, to say whatever you want to say.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. I don't know where the House leader is going to. We are not swearing in a new member.
I have given him the opportunity to take round our new combat. And I would want to urge you, leader, to also follow suit before it is too late. Please, you can join us too.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order again?
Yes, behind Mr. Speaker.
Let me recognize the minority leader first.
Okay.
He raised the first point of order. Minority leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda, Obiabo Federal Constituency, I'm an Ikwere man, I'm from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to correct the very, very, very erroneous impression that was created by the letter written by my colleague, Honorable Koko, that there is a protracted problem within the PDP. That is not true. Let it be on record, because I know that our records form part of public records. There is no protracted problem within the party. Whatever you have in PDP, it's also happening in APC, Labour, and other political parties. And people disagree to agree. It has not gotten to the level of creating that kind of impression, sir. People can give reasons to leave a family to another family, but not to paint that family black. Having said so, Mr. Speaker, we know the provisions of the Constitution, and I will call on this House to please, for the uptenth time, implement the provision of the Nigerian Constitution by declaring the seat of a member who willingly chooses to move from the party under whose platform he was elected to another party. He has a right to choose, but he must bear the consequences. We keep saying this. Let us not keep setting a bad precedent, because whatever goes round comes around. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, leader. What you have said is noted. We'll review and reflect and get back to you. Thank you.
Further, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ben Etana Bene. I represent Okpe, Saple, Uwe Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, what is happening now goes to the very, very root and fundamental reason for the establishment of this National Assembly. When this National Assembly makes laws, there must be an intent and purpose of making that law. I cannot believe that that section that deals clearly with the words authenticated and accepted, signed by everybody here before we came in this 10th Assembly, that any member who leaves one party shall vacate. It's automatic.
You are wrong, my brother. The National Assembly doesn't have that power. It's only the courts
Mr. Speaker,
that can declare.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
That's to, if you want such kind of powers to, you have to go to the court. The court is the only body that can declare. But as far as we are concerned, we will abide by the content of the letter written to us by the honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, let me mention one thing that you will just realize. These members who are declaring from one party to another party has a certificate issued to them by INEC. The names, the federal constituency, and the political party. Do they go back to INEC to correct and reverse to the new party that certificate which they were giving? No. It tells you that what they are holding presently after declaration is a mandate.
This House does not have that competence to entertain this discussion. Okay. It's only the course of law, and I'm sure you are aware.
Mr. Speaker, I will take the hint, from you that possibly infractions of rules and practices, will probably need the court, to do anything about it. But in my opinion, Mr. Speaker, when you make a law that is automatically serves, the purpose for which it was made, I don't think we should, go back. Even the area they said you should declare their seat vacant, it is administrative after they have moved out. Mr. Speaker, the day you will see Ben Etanabene leaving the Labour Party to another party, that is the last day you are going to see me sitting here. No, I don't need anybody to tell me. I will pack my load and go back to sit down and let INEC, do a rerun for it. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the privilege.
Thank you very much, honorable colleagues, for your contribution. What you have said is noted. I think we don't need to delve into this issue. We go straight to the next item, which is petitions. Any member with a petition, please? Honorable Oke is not around to lead. Any member with petition, please? No petitions today. Honorable Oke, I'm disappointed, though. Even if there is no one, you should have just fabricate for record. On a lighter note, what I said anyway. So we go to the next item, which is matters of urgent public importance. It's my pleasure to invite Honorable Afoape Moruf Afolabi, who has a motion for your consideration. Is Honorable Afoape around?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Afolabi Afoape. I represent Abeokuta South Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State. I hereby move a motion to suspend Order 8 Rule 5 to enable me take this matter of urgent importance to seeking urgent and proactive action to address the critical power situation at University College Hospital Ibadan that have been leading to death of many patients. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Fage, are you raising your hand to also declare for APC?
Yes.
Vote is second.
Mr. Speaker, I've prayed for you once, I'll pray for you again. Come 11th Assembly, you will be the Speaker there wearing the red cap of Congosia by the grace of God. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Barrister Muhammad Bello Shehu, representing the people of Fege Federal Constituency, a diehard and bona fide Congosia member. I rise to second the motion, assembly moved by my colleague, for it is urgent enough to be heard by this House this morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion, Honorable Paul Namchi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Namdi is my name. And I represent Ndokwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to second the motion ably moved by my dear brother that the matter is urgent enough to be heard. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. Honorable Maruf, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. The House should know that University College Ibadan is the foremost and, of course, a critical institution that provides essential medical services in Nigeria. Furthermore, this institution had previously received medical tourists from abroad and had hitherto generated substantial revenue into the cover of the nation. Concerned, however, that this vital healthcare institution has been thrown into a persistent blackout that has lasted for about 3 months by the Ibadan Electricity Division Company over a whooping electric bill of 495 million slammed on the hospital. Further concerned that the precarious situation has severely impacted the institution's ability to render adequate medical services to the people, resulting in avoidable loss of lives and livelihood, as well as emotional distress to Nigerians. Worried that the situation has become embarrassing to the extent that relatives of patients now bring power generators and solar inverter appliances to the hospital, as well as donor gifting a high-power generating set to aid the hospital services. Further worried that the situation has taken toll of the psychological and emotional well-being of Nigerians, eroding trust in the government's ability to provide basic services. The House has been resolved to urge the federal government to declare a state of emergency in the health sector, particularly addressing the critical situation at the University of College Hospital, Ibadan. All the Ministry of Power to ensure immediate proactive steps are taken toward restoration of power to the institution to ensure its continuing functionality. Summoned the Honorable Minister of Health before the House of Committee on Health to account for the recurrence and provide a comprehensive plan to address this ugly situation. Invite the Chief Medical Director of University College Ibadan to provide insight into the situation and collaborate with the Minister of Health to find a lasting solution. Mandate the Minister of Health and Chief Medical Director to provide a detailed report on the action taken to address the situation within the next 2 weeks. And refer this committee for the Committee on Health Institution and Power should take further legislative action and report back to the House within 2 weeks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Amendment? Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, I remain Barrister Muhammad Bello Shehu, representing the people of Fege Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I think it is high time. The world is going green. So should Nigeria. This issue of power outage, I think the Ministry of Health and that of Power should be mandated to install solar panels, solar power in all our national hospitals within the country. This is my amendment, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
So what are you really amending?
That it should be included.
Is it the wordings of the prayer or additional prayer?
Additional prayer, Mr. Speaker.
Additional prayer.
Yes, that Ministry of Health should be mandated that national hospitals within the country and FMCs should have solar powers installed in this hospital to avoid this national embarrassment. Thank you.
Okay, any seconder to this additional prayer? Yes, my dear sister.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished guests, distinguished colleagues of mine, my name is Regina Akume, representing the good people of Boko Taka constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Benue State. I'm up here to second the motion moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Somebody was talking about another amendment. Yes, Honorable Bapa.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Ali Ubo from Misau. The amendment I want to make on this particular is, rather than saying solar, let us go for alternative energy. That is the amendment I want to make. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
I think that's what it means. So that's what will be captured on our books, on our records.
As
alternative
alternative,
energy sources.
not solar. Yeah.
Not solar. Noted. Any seconder to the main motion? Amendment again? Honorable Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonkwo, representing Idemili North and South Federal Constituency from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I'd like to appreciate the mover of this motion. Mr. Speaker, my amendment would be an additional prayer for the FMCs to actually communicate with the relevant power authorities in regulating the bands in which they are registered under, because a lot of these high tariffs come under the band A or that they are given, and it has been a problem for most of the FMCs within Nigeria. So my additional prayer is for the FMCs to, reach out to the relevant power authorities to see how those bands can be adequately corrected, whether it's band B that would be more ideal for them in order for them to operate better.
Honorable Harris, if you read this second prayer, I think it has adequately captured that. He said, "All the Honorable Minister of Power to ensure immediate proactive steps are taken towards restoration of power." And I think proactive steps include all other issues that are associated with this. So you think it is not well captured there?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thanks for noting that, but it's a little bit different because when we put proactive states, it's meaning that we should proactively look to restoring the power. But if they can look specifically into the different bands that FMCs are given, I think that can also help the Honorable Minister to pinpoint, the issues that which are at hand.
So you think that paragraph will not capture, as part of the solutions, what the request he has made here?
Mr. Speaker,
we need to put it in another paragraph separate.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, any seconder to that? Any seconder? Honorable Anka.
Thank you, able Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Isa Muhammad Anka. I'm from Zamfara State. I want to second the motion heavily moved by, the amendment made by my honorable colleagues. I so second. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Have we gotten a seconder to the main motion? Has it been seconded? Chairman Naseni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Iyas Azal, my leaders and fellow colleagues. My name is Honorable Taufik Abimbola Ajilesoro. I represent the good people of Ife Federal Constituency in Osun State. I am from the source. I rise to second the motion as moved by my fellow colleagues. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Power and Health Institutions for further legislative action. The next motion is coming from Honorable Satochukwu Chinedu Okere. If Honorable Okere is around, please can you rise and move your motion? Honorable Okere.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you, my amiable speaker and my well-respected colleagues. My name is Honorable Sir Tochukwu Chinedu Okere. I represent the entire people of Owerri North, Owerri West, Owerri Municipal Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, I am an Owerri man from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I crave the indulgence of this House to step aside Order 8, Rule 5, to enable me take this matter of urgent public importance on the need to investigate the killings of innocent citizens, kidnapping, and banditry in most parts of Owerri West and some parts of Owerri North in Owerri Federal Constituency in Imo State.
Any seconder to the first leg of the motion? Honorable Cyril.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Hart Cyril Godwin. I represent the fabulous people of Boni Degema Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Rivers State. I rise to second the motion that is urgent and important to be heard. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Second leg of the motion. Any seconder? I can't see the face properly. Yeah. Maybe when you rise up, I can see you clearly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ginger Obina Onwusibe. I represent the people of Isialangwa North, Isialangwa South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am an Ungba man from Abia State. I rise to second the second leg of this motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Okere, proceed please.
Thank you, my speaking speaker and my respected colleagues. My name still remains Honorable Sir Tochukwu Chinedu Okere. I represent and speak for the entire people of Owerri North, Owerri West, Owerri Municipal Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. I rise this day to move this motion on the matter of urgent public importance on the need to investigate the killings of innocent citizens, kidnapping and banditry in most parts of Owerri West and some parts of Owerri North in Owerri Federal Constituency in Imo State. The House notes that the security of lives and properties is the primary responsibility of government as enshrined in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The House further notes that despite reports in the past, killing of innocent citizens, kidnapping and banditry in most parts of Owerri West, particularly in Avon, Oforola, Nekede, Ihiagwa, Obinze, Amakohubi, Okolochi, and some parts of Owerri North like Obezena, Abala, Olakwo, in Owerri Federal Constituency. Not much has been done by security agencies to stop this unprovoked menace in these communities. The House is aware that the State Governor, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma, has made efforts through the Commissioner of Police and other security apparatus to fight this menace. The House is worried that these attacks have escalated in recent years, leading to humanitarian crisis and posing serious and endemic threats to national security. It is unacceptable that constituents, particularly in Owerri West and Owerri North, live in fear of violent attacks. The House is also worried that the indigents who are victims of these wanton killings, kidnapping and banditry may resort to self-help since they cannot stand by and allow these senseless killings continue unchecked. The House resolved to observe a minute of silence in honor of those who have lost their lives to these killings, kidnap and banditry. To urge the Inspector General of Police to take an immediate and decisive affirmative action to put an end to these killings of citizens, kidnap and banditry in these communities in Owerri West and Owerri North by redeploying its security apparatus to protect vulnerable communities and ensure safety. 3, mandate the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence to ensure compliance and report back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker and my respected colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Badao?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Badao Ahmed Yusuf, and I represent Shannon Agwe Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague. I'm from Kano State. I stand before you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, to second the motion heavily moved by honorable colleagues. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on National Intelligence for further legislative action. Shall we please rise for a minute silence? May their soul rest in peace. The last but not the least is a motion coming from Right Honorable Said Yusuf Miga. Honorable Miga, please can you rise and move your motion?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am Honorable Said Yusuf Miga. I represent Jahun Miga Federal Constituency. I am from Jigawa State. My motion is on matter of urgent public importance, pursuant to Order 8, Rule 5(2) of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. Urgent need for the federal government to intervene in the communal clashes in Jahun Miga Federal Constituency of Jigawa State. I so move.
Any seconder to the first leg of the motion? Honorable Amborura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished colleagues, I am Honorable Bello Isa Amborura, member representing Gorabawa Ilela. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, I rise up to second the motion on matter of urgent public importance, ably sponsored by my friend, my neighbor, Honorable Yusuf Miga of Jigawa State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Second leg of the motion, Honorable Taura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Saad Taura, representing the good people of Ringin and Torpedo constituency from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, before my support, I want to retaliate with the barrister Shehu Fage. As you come in with a green cap, may God make it possible for you to come back with your green cap. God forbid the red cap. Thank you, sir. I stand to second the motion heavily. The second leg of the motion heavily moved by my elder brother, Honorable Said Yusuf Miga. I so second, sir. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Miga, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you should note that in December 2024, there were communal clashes between Fulani herders and farmers residing in Gululu, Gidan Nagari, Markewa, and Yankunama villages of Jahun Miga Federal Constituency of Jigawa State, which resulted in the loss of life, certain number, in the first week. Further, note that with grave concern that this persistent crisis between farmers and herders within the most recent incident occurring at Gidan Nagari community on Sunday, 5th January 2025, which again resulted in the loss of life, at least 11 lives, making about 24 lives in 2 weeks or in 7 days exactly. Within 2 weeks, or they said 2 months, because it started in December and ended in January, has inflicted a tragic toll on communities marked by loss of lives and the destruction of homes and livestock. Aware that gravity of the situation necessitates swift and coordinated action of the federal government to restore peace, protect lives, and promote stability in Jahun Miga federal constituency. Concerns that herders and farmers have been at dragger down in Jahun and Miga local governments, areas of Jigawa state, and tragically, lives have been lost, families displaced, and homes reduced to ashes as the cycle of violence persists. Also concerns that the perennial strife which has created a violated environment where animosity prevails not only jeopardize lives and properties,
Leader of the House,
but
1 minute,
also
please.
hampers
Minority
the
Leader.
socio-economic development of these communities and cast showdown of instability over the affected villages. Worried that the cycle of violence persists, export of mitigates tensions and promotes sustainable peace has become an arduous task on the crisis has entrenched deep-seated analysis. Also worried that the ever-present threat of violence and continuous clashes has created a climate of fear and mistrust, making it challenging to establish meaningful dialogue or constructive peace-building initiatives. Believe that recognizing the severity, persistent, and deep-rooted nature of the crisis, only a comprehensive intensive of the federal government can address the underlying issues, promote dialogue, and foster mutual understanding. Resolve. Observe a minute silent for those who lost their lives. As the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to assist in providing the people with relief materials to cushion the effect of the crisis. As the federal government to immediately establish security presence in the affected communities of Gululu, Gidan Nagari, Markewa, and Yankunama. As the federal government, through the Inspector General of Police, to thoroughly investigate the immediate and remote causes of the unfortunate incident and bring all the perpetrators to book. As the federal government immediately assign a National Peace Commission to facilitate dialogue, mediate on, and address the root causes of the crisis by engaging the community leaders, local government authorities, and relevant stakeholders to ensure a sustainable resolution. As the federal government on emergency and disaster management to visit the affected areas, assess the damage, recommend measures to prevent future occurrence, and report to the House within 4 weeks. As the various House committees on police to ensure implementation. I so move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Maki.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Dorikauga Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my senior colleague. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Police Affairs and Disaster Emergency and Disaster Preparedness for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, please shall we rise for a minute silence. May the soul of the deceased rest in peace.
Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Is it Honorable Mascot?
Honorable Agocha, sir.
Okay, Honorable, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Obi Agocha. I represent the good people of Iguano, Umahe North and Umahe South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise on Order 6, Rule 1, and other relevant sections of the standing order. Mr. Speaker, recently a lot of people have decamped from the various parties to the ruling party. Mr. Speaker, when we all came here, we were issued sitting assignments on locations where every member is to be seated based on their political party affiliations. Whether you are APC, as the ruling party, to the left, and other opposition parties to the right. Mr. Speaker, all those who, for one reason or the other, have defected to the ruling party must be compelled to leave this section of the opposition parties to the ruling party, or they will...
Honorable, I don't think what you are saying is correct. Sittings are not done on the basis of party. Not at all. Only leadership role. That's where you recognize parties, other than the first row, which is dedicated to ranking members and principal officers. Every other row is allocated just on the basis of your ranking, your state, and other parameters, but no party. So nobody is allocated any seat based on his own party, no.
Mr.
Okay,
Speaker.
so your point of order is overruled. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's okay. Leader of the House, please can you move that the House do consolidate all the 4 tax bills into one for the purpose of the debate that we're going to have today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm Professor Julius Ihonvere, Onwa Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that the House do consolidate the 4 bills listed in the orders of the day, since they deal with the same subject, to enable easy conversation and discussion. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader, please can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion moved by the House Leader relying on Order 12, Rule 15, Sub-Rule B of the House Rules, being matters on the same subject matter. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local governments, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Since we are consolidating, I will read the second one, which is second order of the day, which is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act number 13, 2007, and enact the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigeria Revenue Service charged with powers of assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government of the Federation and for related matters. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from revenue administrations in Nigeria and for related matters. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigerian Tax Act to provide for taxation of income, transactions, and instruments, and for related matters, all standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the bills were read the first time on Tuesday, 8 October 2024. I now invite Honorable Julius, the House Leader, to move that the bill be read second time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the bills HB 1756, HB 1757, HB 1758, HB 1759 as consolidated be read a second time. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the House, can you move? Sorry, can you lead in the debate?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My dear special colleagues, I feel very humbled and privileged to lead the debate on the bills recently listed and consolidated, famous tax bills. Mr. Speaker, I would like to begin by thanking Mr. President for the courage to address this issue of reforming the tax sector, so to put it. It's been there, multiple collection, multiple diversion, and so forth. but he had the courage to, for the first time, bring a bill in here to deal with the problem. I also want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, with the courage and maturity with which you have handled this issue, in spite of the tendencies and trends and tensions it has generated. I would also like to appreciate our governors for the role they played in putting this up for conversation and reaching a conclusion in the interest of the nation. And finally, I want to thank our colleagues and those that expressed their reservations in different ways, did it because of the respect they have for this House and for us to perform our duties as legislators. I want to thank them for that courage, for that vision, for that commitment and dedication to the principles of democracy and the rules that guide relationships in this House. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, the focus of the tax reform bills, essentially, to ensure a total overhaul and modernization of the tax system, which is chronically outdated and one of the most backward on earth. Second, to drive Nigeria's economic transformation, a transformation that we've all been part of, trying to reposition, refocus, and redirect the processes of production, accumulation, and exchange in order to improve the lives of the ordinary person. Empower our citizens and support households through several concessions that have been made, as I will be listing very shortly. Enhance revenue mobilization, and ensure that a conducive and competitive environment for investments. Many have complained that investors are leaving the country because they are paying taxes to 10, 11, 12, sometimes 15 different agencies, and without receipts sometimes. This will cure that lacuna and deliver sustained and inclusive growth, equity and efficiency, and sustainable development in our country. These are lofty goals, and we can only pray that we do our part and then let the nation do its part in the interest of our people. As we all know, these 4 consolidated bills were read by the Speaker earlier. The Nigeria Tax Bill, the framework for the imposition and harmonization of the major taxes, corporate tax, capital gains tax, personal income tax, stamp duty, value-added tax, etc. There are so many, legion of them. The Nigeria Tax Administration Bill provides the legal basis for tax management, covering taxpayer identification, registration, assessment, collection, enforcement, and technology. The Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill replaced the FIROS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, with the Nigeria Revenue Service, NRS, to perform the role of revenue administration. And finally, the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill to transform the Joint Tax Board into the Joint Revenue Board with expanded mandates and responsibilities. These are the taxes we've now put into one because they're dealing with the same matter. Are there any benefits to this kind of engagement we're about to undertake? Having studied the tax bills myself and taken the time to compare with some African countries, notably Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Ethiopia, and Namibia, I could see the benefits that have been enunciated for Nigeria and Nigerians in this tax bill. I will not go through everything that I have on my paper so that my colleagues can contribute. But suffice to say that these reforms for individuals, for the ordinary Nigerian, the youth, families, will benefit extensively because for the first time, there will be a complete exemption of low-income workers earning up to 1 million naira per annum from pay as you earn. They will no longer need to pay any tax whatsoever. The minimum wage, at least that is about 83,000 naira a month, which is above the minimum wage. So anybody on minimum wage, either in the public or private sector, will not need to pay that tax. It reduces the payee tax for those earning a monthly salary of 1.7 million or less. Zero VAT on food, healthcare, education, electricity generation, and transmission. If you are involved in any of these activities, it is zero VAT. I'll just mention one or two more. There is tax incentives for employers to hire more workers incrementally than in the previous 3 years. So in the earlier 3 years, if you begin to hire, as you hire more, you get tax incentives as is done in many countries, even in developed countries. There are several products that have been listed that are now exempted from the VAT. Baby products, renewable energy. So if you are going into solar business, you will not pay VAT. And so on and so forth. Our small businesses, since this is the focus of this administration, to support small businesses and expand the economy so that we can collect even more taxes as they grow in their businesses. Also have a lot of incentives in this new tax regime. There is an increase in the tax exemption threshold for small businesses with annual turnover of 25 million. So if you are at that level, to 25 million to 50 million will be the threshold under which you will be exempted from tax. Exemption from company income tax for small businesses, tax will be at 10%. Elimination of withholding tax deduction of small business income for small businesses. These are innovations which I believe will benefit our country. There is also the introduction of the Office of Tax Ombud to protect vulnerable taxpayers against arbitrary tax assessments. And the bill requires that all tax disputes must be resolved by the Ombud in 14 days, not the current practice where in a year you'll be going to the tax office every day and they'll be running you up and down with no solution. Now it is mandatory that in 14 days, every tax dispute must be resolved. And I believe that even for businesses, the major businesses and investors, there is a whole array of exemptions and that have been created in the new bill, including faster tax refunds within 90 days, tax reduction for expenses incurred by startup companies, so that they are not killed in infancy. And I believe that for high income and high net worth individuals, there are also some streamlined exemptions for them. Mr. Speaker, we've had a lot of debates on and off this floor. We have had caucus meetings to discuss and look at the benefits and advantages of the bills, and to identify some of the shortfalls. And we know that even for subnational governments, there are a lot of incentives that come in these new bills. Our governors have spoken very, very clearly and loudly, and have presented a roadmap which has been accepted by the President himself. And that has calmed the nerves of everybody in all parts of the country. For those who have not seen the statements of the governors, let me spend 2-3 minutes on that. First, they reiterated, I'm using their word, their strong support for the comprehensive reform of the tax system to enhance fiscal stability and be in step with global best practices. Words of our governors. 2, they reviewed the VAT sharing formula to 50% equity, 30% derivation, and 20% population. This has also been accepted. They also said there should be no increase in the VAT rate. Also accepted. No increase in corporate income tax, the CIT, also accepted. Continued exemption of essential goods and agricultural produce from VAT to safeguard the welfare of Nigerian citizens. This has also been accepted. No terminal clause for Tedford. This has also been accepted. No terminal clause for Naseni, also accepted. No terminal clause for NITDA, also accepted. And this is the last paragraph in the statement of the governors, and I quote, "The meeting supports the continuation of the legislative process at the National Assembly that will culminate in the eventual passage of the tax reform bills," unquote. This is the Nigerian Governors Forum. So what we're doing here is not only an affirmation of what they believe in, but it's a continuation of what we started earlier, which is what we believe in as part of our own duty. My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, a time comes in the history of every nation, community, of people, when they must pause to look behind, see where they are coming from, what mistakes they have made, what obstacles they have encountered, how they fought battles, and how they won and those that they lost. Review their present and map out a future for themselves. And that future must be better than the present, otherwise they have been wasting their time. And leaders who are responsible for not mapping out a better future, when the history of that community is written, their pages may be blank because they did nothing positive. Let us be remembered that under the leadership of our dear Speaker, and in our time, we were part of that movement, that process that looked at the tax bills, consolidated them, put in the reform process to the betterment of our country so that production will be enhanced, job creation will be enhanced, security will be enhanced, we'll mobilize more money that will go to the local governments and the states, and that will empower the institutions and sectors and promote the energy of the factors and forces of production and exchange in Nigeria. That way, we would have been part of history, positive history, good history. I want to thank you, my colleagues, for listening to me, and I hope that we'll have a very positive conversation on this matter. Nigerians are waiting to hear from us that we are taking the right step in the right direction at this very moment. Thank you, and may God continue to bless us all.
Thank you, Leader, for a powerful opening. Members, whoever is given the opportunity to speak should only speak for 1 to 2 minutes, because we have so many people who will want to contribute, and time is not on our side. So please try to summarize, articulate whatever you want to say, and say it within a minute or two. Okay? I'm sure our 2 timekeepers are there. Once you try to exceed the 2 minutes, they will call you to order, particularly the new blood that we have just brought on board, who is eager to start his work. I'm sure he will start it emphatically. So let me start from the minority leadership, Honorable Ali Jesse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my very respected honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Ali Issa JC, PhD, representing Balanga, Billiri Federal Constituency. I am from Gombe State and the minority whip of the House. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, let me start by commending the leadership and the Honorable Speaker for taking time to do more consultations, particularly on this bill that Nigerians are worried about, that Nigerians have so many concerns about this bill. Mr. Speaker, you have saved a lot of issues or crises last year when there was so much pressure that the National Assembly should quickly take the bill within the shortest period of time. The consultations have enlightened a lot of Nigerians, but we still have a lot of concern. We have concern, Nigerians have a lot of concern, and I believe this House that belongs to the House of Nigerians will do the needful at appropriate time. Mr. Speaker, some of the areas of concern by me and a lot of Nigerians, particularly we that are at the lower level, Nigerians are very, very concerned.
How low?
No, not by height. Not by height, Mr.
Thank you, Minority Leader, for the correction.
Mr. Speaker, Section 146 proposes a gradual increase from the current 7.5% to 10% this year, then next year to 12.5% on VAT, that is value-added tax. While government can come with a lot of policies that can allow them implement some of their things, but still government have to also look at the economic hardships Nigerians are facing. The increase will definitely cause a lot of increase, particularly on food item, transportations, and the living standard of the common man. So government have to look at that, and maybe when at appropriate time, the National Assembly has to look at ways, if there's any way we can even reduce the tax so that Nigerians can have a lot of opportunities. Also, there's also introductions of development levy, which will also cause a lot of additional taxes. Apart from the recent increases in petrol, after removal of subsidy, the increase in electricity tariffs, and a lot of other increases, Nigerians are watching and waiting to see if there's other opportunities to support or assist the common man. Mr. Speaker, today, the international organizations have analyzed the Nigerian life expectancy rate to above 50%. I'm also the whip. And I'm also the whip. You are also a whip, I'm also a whip. So my whip may be both stronger than yours. Mr. Speaker, these are areas that I'm sure that the House will definitely address it and ensure that we listen to the Nigerians. We listen to the areas that Nigerians want us to ensure we make some few amendments to accommodate the poor man, to ensure that we are working for the people. We are working for Nigerians. Because of time, during the public hearing, if the bill is there, we will also make some submissions to do all the necessary things. Mr. Speaker, my very honorable colleague, I rise to make that my comment and also to commend the Speaker and the leadership for showing maturity in handling these affairs from day one to date. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Leader. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogane Waive is my name. I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State, and I'm chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business. Our leader is speaking now, perhaps a slip of tongue, that if the bill gets to public hearing, it's our procedure, and this bill will definitely
No. Chair, I rule you out of order. What he said is correct. Is correct. Please withdraw what you have said. It's okay. I think it's a mistake and is well noted. Okay? So I will call on another minority, Honorable Bamidele Salami. If you are ready, you have 1 to 2 minutes. Please summarize whatever you're going to say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bamidele Salam. I represent the North and the South Egbedo Federal Constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by observing that I hope we are protected. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I said I want to start by making an observation that all over the world, reforms are not the easiest things to accomplish. Reforms are usually...
Order, please.
Reforms are usually very painful, very disruptive. But reforms are always essential, needed, especially when countries realize the fact that they need to hurry up in the journey of development. And so I want to start by commending the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is the leader of government, who has brought this reform bill to the National Assembly. Because if we look at our tax laws in Nigeria, they have been some of the most obsolete, some of the most duplicative, if not multiplicative, of tax laws anywhere in the world. And if we're going to be honest with ourselves, these have resulted in stunted growth in most of our sectors, as well as dissuade investors from coming into this country to exploit and explore the greater opportunities of the resources that we have because of the lack of ease of doing business resulting from this multiplicity of taxes. So having said that, Mr. Speaker, I want to also say, in line with what my leader said earlier, that whatever system, policy, or law or regulation that we are bringing on board, the first consideration must be the welfare of the majority of the Nigerian people. Those who can hardly afford to have 3 square meals, to afford good education, good healthcare system. And so when we look at any piece of legislation being proposed by the executive, especially as minorities, we ask ourselves, how does this law make life easier for the common man? How does it make it easier for people to access the basic things of life and contribute meaningfully to economic development? According to the majority leader in the lead debate, he has enunciated a lot of benefit that we have seen here, which I also adopt. But I want to say one more, Mr. Speaker, and that has to do with the principle of entrenching true federalism. Whatever legislation we are going to pass must ensure that more monies go to subnationals, the local government, the state government, because they are the closer tiers of government to the people. And this particular bill, I want to note, has made adequate provision for having more of the VAT proceed going to state government from what used to be the share of the federal government, from 15% to 10%, which I think is very, very commendable. Just like when the issue of the fuel subsidy came on board. Now more state and local government get more money. And the attention of Nigerians must be on how government that earn more money will now spend those money. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I support the general principles of this bill, and I'm sure that by the time it gets to the public hearing stage, more members of the public and interest will be able to come on board to add their voice on the need for us to have this reform on time, so that it doesn't become, like the reform in the oil sector that was delayed for over 20 years, that by the time we just woke up to pass the Petroleum Industry Act, it was almost becoming belated. I do hope that this bill passes through the second reading, Mr. Speaker, and I do support the second reading motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Salami. The next person based on my list here is going to be Honorable Stanley.
Please allow Speaker to continue this business so that we have...
Honorable Stanley, please.
Please.
Thank you.
Anyone who wants to speak, please, you just indicate. I will call your names. I
Thank
promise
you, the
each
right
and every
honourable
one of
Speaker.
you who wants to contribute will be given the opportunity.
Thank you, the Right Honourable Speaker, the Ian Zalzal. I remain Honourable Adedeji Stanley Olajide. I represent the people of Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, the general principle of this bill. Am I protected, Mr. Speaker?
Please, honorable colleagues, please be silent, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want you to know anyone who wants to talk will be given the opportunity. Everyone will have the opportunity to speak, but within the allocated time.
Yes.
Okay?
Every day we gather here, we move motions, we move bills to create new agencies. Federal health institution, universities, college of educations, ICT centers. We create a lot of agencies every day in this institution, Mr. Speaker. I also want you to know that all of these things we are planning to create, we will require a lot of money for them. The whole world is talking about artificial intelligence in order to grow our economy. We are going to require a lot of money for them. The general principle of this bill would allow us.
Please, order. Can we please get seated? Please. Order, please. Order. Order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The general principle of these bills will allow us the level of funding that we need as a nation to grow into the next generation. Be mindful that about a week ago, Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States made a pronouncement that $500 billion will be spent for artificial intelligence. All of these things, Mr. Speaker, require a lot of funds. Mr. Speaker, I also want to say this, that yes, we have looked at some of these things and we know today that actually reforming our taxation laws is the right way to go. Mr. Speaker,
a front recorder, please collect that paper. With due respect for our members, they are to be seated and then they will be attended to. Mr. Speaker is going to pick them. Is he coming rowdy, please?
Mr. Speaker, on a final note, I support the general principle of this bill.
Honorable members, please, let's be seated. Mr. Speaker will call us one by one, please.
Please go ahead, conclude.
So, Mr. Speaker, on a final note, if you look at all the frameworks that is being put in place, you look at the policies that be put in place, we believe that these are what we need to take our nation to the next level. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so submit.
Our next speaker will be our brand new Deputy Whip, Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka.
Thank you very much, our own quintessential speaker with substantial values. And once again, I want to thank you and the entire members of this honorable house. I speak for the entire Nigerians, but I'm from Ifoiweko Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the fastest growing economic state in Nigeria. I'm from Ogun State. Permit me to just outline, because of want of time, I would not just want to speak much on what I have with me. Personally, and I'm sure to all Nigerians, one of the best things to happen to us since we've been growing this economy is the harmonization of taxes in this country. As outlined in the highlights, from 60 to a maximum of 9. That's what is stated here. What best and what more can we ask for from this government rather than something like this? All our people flying the expressway with different levies, with different stickers, in multiples. It was counted about 47 some times ago. And these are what they are being harmonized and a single line. Even contractors applying for contract to bid. All of them now, they know that when they bid the certain percentage they are going to pay, it will give them what is going to be their consolidated income and the taxes they have to pay and manage the contract. So the expectations are always correct and with precision. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, let's look at the low-income earners, 800,000 naira. I may not be shocked sometimes when people will prefer that they are not promoted. Because when they are earning 800,000 naira and they know they are not going to pay tax to anybody, they will feel so sustained. This is part of what has been enshrined in this tax bill. And of course, Mr. Speaker, finally, the only thing that I just would want to be included on this bill is that as much as we have penalties for tax evaders, I want us equally to have enshrined in this bill the managers of the taxes for any infractions or the same consequences that will be applied to tax evaders, government should equally bear the same consequence in return. And in this case, those that are applying the tax. Taxpayers will be so happy and glad to pay taxes when they see the reason they are paying these taxes. If it's for road construction, it must be applied and strictly it must be considered and seen by Nigerians that it is done. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, for want of time, like I said... Time off. For want of time, like I have said, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, thank you very much for granting me this time. And then we must be very careful. This tax bill provided for companies that are declaring loss. They said they will not pay tax. We need to be very careful so that everybody will not start telling us that they are declaring loss every year in the country. So we need to provide for safety net. If you declare tax for maybe 2 consecutive years, they must delete such a company from the Corporate Affairs Commission, or as the case may be. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I so submit.
Thank you, the Deputy Whip of the House. Our next speaker will be Honorable Sade Soli.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Sada Soli, GBI, representing GBI Kaita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, we are today discussing the general principles and the merits of this bill tagged Tax Administration Bill 1756 HB. Mr. Speaker, this bill undoubtedly will enhance efficiency, ensure compliance, and harmonize tax collection within the 3 tiers of government. However, there are several inconsistencies and challenges this tax bill may pose in the tax administration of this country. And I believe the committee that will be charged with the responsibility of addressing some of the issues will definitely look at some of the issues that I will raise on this floor today. Some of these challenges, there is constitutional and jurisdictional concerns, particularly in Section 141, which deals with supremacy clause, which contradicts some of the positions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then there is the issue of overlap and on the existing laws, particularly Personal Income Tax Act, Company Income Tax Act, and the FRS Tax Act. There is some existing conflict that this bill may cause, which I believe the committee will definitely look at these issues. However, also there is the issue of fairness, practicability, and reasonability. How reasonable will this law be? Because law must be reasonable, must be fair, because they are going to govern human beings. There is the issue, a practical issue of this law in section 122, in section 95 to section 119. Mr. Speaker, when we look at the tax, the VAT issue, the fiscalization issue, fiscalization clearly is about technology. How prepared are we to achieve that? So there is the concern of burdening the taxpayers. Then also there may be some level of exclusion where technology cannot reach. So it's a concern that should also be looked at by this assembly.
Honorable Sada Soli, 2 minutes more.
Mr. Speaker, there is administrative and operational issues. There is ambiguity. There is preponderance of ambiguity in this act because of the absence of interpretation clause. The interpretation clause is not robust, did not address the issue of derivation. What is derivation in this act? What does it mean? It needs to be defined so that it will be interpreted correctly, so that it will be applied with the section that it is talking about. There is the issue of artificial transaction. What is artificial transactions? There is the issue of tax planning. We need to interpret it correctly. There is the issue of tax supply. We need to interpret all these words because they have great impact.
With due respect, Honorable Sada Soli, time up, sir.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Sada, please, just round up, please. Try to round up as quickly as possible.
Mr. Speaker, there is the concern of equity in section 77, where it talks about 60% of derivation to states. There is the need for the committee to address the issue, to look at the equity of states that are less in competition with other stronger states in the country. Mr. Speaker, because of time, I will yield my time to other speakers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sada. We call on Honorable Jimmy Benson.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, Iya Zazal, honorable colleagues. I remain Baba Jimmy Benson. I represent the very good people of Ikorodu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to raise the exact points my good brother from GBR had raised about fairness, equity, and justice. He has espoused his points tremendously well. And he has also shown empathy. He has put faith in the committee that if this bill is passed for second reading, he has said that that committee should look into those points that he has highlighted. And to make matters easy as well, the governors have addressed most of the issues raised by him. They've spoken about the derivation. They've told us how many percent they want. They've spoken about freezing, the freezing of funding for TET Fund, NIDA, NASENI, that they want those establishments to still exist in perpetuity. I don't think anybody has any misgivings about that anymore. I think that the governors have spoken as true Democrats, as true lovers of Nigerians.
And when I look at
Honorable
the tax
Jimmy
bill,
Benson, 2 minutes.
and when I look at the tax bill itself, sir, it is so state-centric. It gives a lot of more money to states. Federal government reduces is 15% to 10% and gives the 5% to states. It allows states collect stamp duties, things that were not done before. It allows states get enhanced collection because it unifies all taxes.
Honorable Jimmy Benson, time up.
And above all, sir,
You are doing well.
the tax law that we're talking about was promulgated in the 1930s. That should not be where Nigeria should be today, sir. I commend you, Mr. Speaker, for standing in the interest of Nigeria. I commend Mr. President for having the balls to do this at this critical time. And I commend our lawmakers. I mean, Sada Soli has spoken very, very well. All he wants and all we all want is to be able to negotiate, build consensus, and find a win-win situation for all. Nobody wants to oppress anybody. We want equity, justice, and fairness. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Speaker will be Honorable Nlolim Naji.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Nlolim Naji, Kano East West Federal Constituency. I'm from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I want to align myself with all the speakers. But most importantly, sir, it's not just about, it's very easy to raise funds, for countries to raise funds. But another thing is utilization of those funds. I feel that if these tax bills are passed, that the funds generated should be properly utilized. The funds generated should be channeled towards amenities, basic amenities that will enhance the livelihood in our country. It should be channeled to public utilities, electricity, because a country like Nigeria up to today, we don't have constant electricity. We've heard about our situation with World Health today. I also believe that we should enhance and increase funds to health. So it's not just, I'm concerned more about utilization of the funds. We have seen that where we're heading to now, we are going to have a lot of funds available. But please, I'm begging, I'm pleading with the executive arm of government. I'm pleading with Mr. President and the states, thank you, that these funds, if generated, should be properly utilized to solve the problem of our basic needs. And also, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of company tax, sir, you know...
Honorable Noli, 2 minutes more, sir.
Sir, thank you. You know, every country, the way you present your company tax also determines how investors come into your country. So we should also be mindful about the interest of the investors, because our country, we've been talking about investors, people coming into the country to invest. So we should look at the company tax and see how it will enhance to promote investors coming into the country to invest.
Honorable
So
Noli,
thank you.
time up, sir.
Thank you. Let me appreciate this.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, undoubtedly, the reforms are an integral part of development that we know. The bills before us today, honorable colleagues, I remain Architect Ibrahim Al-Mustafa Aliyu, as earlier mentioned by the Right Honorable Speaker. The bills before us tend to address some fundamental issues that have to do with the revenue generation in the country.
Honorable Igarue. Please, can you approach the chair?
Therefore,
Honorable Waite.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Reforms are an integral part of nation's development, and the bills before us tend to address some of those perceived gaps in revenue generation as we drive towards development. I therefore commend the President for bringing the bills and the Speaker for managing the bills to this level when all concerned have given their input. And before us, we have memorandums from different angles, from the governors, from other citizens of the country. And I believe even we, the honorable members, must have gone through the bills, improving